Good evening, and welcome to the Low Budget News. I'm Tom Foxbites, and if you heard it here first, there's something very wrong with you. And now for the news. President Bush made a speech from the White House lawn today in which he said, in part, "I am not an idiot, nor am I a murderer, nor a criminal, nor insane." After finishing his speech, he turned and French-kissed Karl Rove for several seconds. Then he ordered Dick Cheney to accidentally shoot a reporter before finally getting on a tricycle and riding it directly into a wall. In other news, Senator John Eagle Eye, a Florida Republican, admitted to having sexual relations with 2 underage female pages, 3 underage male interns, 2 waiters, and a busboy. All of this occurring while eating dinner in Miami at the trendy new French-Cuban restaurant Che Guevara. Also, while being escorted out of the building, Senator Eagle Eye managed to grope an ornamental flamingo in a grotto near the restaurant's entrance. The senator, who has poor eyesight, later apologized to the bird, saying, "I am truly sorry. You see, I thought it was another underage intern at the time." Then, today during deliberations on Capitol Hill, fellow senators and friends of Senator Eagle Eye took a moment to express their support of the senator and, in a rare show of solidarity, lowered their pants to half-mast. In local news, a fire at the Chadwick Funeral Home on South Vanderbilt Street burned the building to the ground last night. Fortunately, no staff members were in the building at the time. However, 3 bodies awaiting burial cannot be found and are presumed cremated. And now for the question of the day. What was the worst airline food in the history of air travel? Answer after this message. And we're back. Answer to today's question, what was the worst airline food in the history of air travel? Answer on the Alive soccer team flight. And our congratulations go out to Ms. Deborah Parks of Cincinnati, Ohio, who answered the question correctly. For her trouble, Deborah wins a free 1-year designated parking spot in front of the TGI Fridays in Glendale. Not bad, Deborah. Okay. Back at the White House, President Bush, while commenting on American society, said he thinks that there's nothing wrong with Britney Spears having driven with no underwear, as long, he says, as it was the hands-free type of no underwear, leaving her with full driving capabilities. "There's nothing wrong with not wearing underwear," said the president. "In fact, I'm not wearing any now." In another item, although recently acquiescing to the possibility of global warming, President Bush stated emphatically that he is still not convinced, despite the assertion by most world scientists that global warming is as much a fact of physical science as gravity. "Actually," said the president, "I have never been all that crazy about this so-called gravity thing either. I would like to see some proof that it exists in an easy-to-understand way." When it was pointed out to him that gravity could be seen simply in the fact that every time you drop something it falls to the ground, and how else could this be explained, President Bush replied, "Coincidence?" But among some Republican diehards, support for Bush continues to run strong. At a meeting of the young Republican Nazis at their headquarters in Houston, Texas last week, members unveiled a stunning new portrait of the president. The portrait, painted by Bush's personal artist, is said to be incredibly lifelike. "It's eerie," said one Houston citizen. "The eyes are so piercing. It's like you can walk around the room and no matter where you're standing, it feels like he is lying directly to you." And now for today's weather window with Scott McFeely. Take it away, Scott.
Thanks, Tom. Well, it seems to be pretty good out there today, folks. It's mostly parking lot with mildly scattered trucks and SUVs throughout. However, there is a large carport coming in from the east and a burning mattress in the dumpster. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Scott. And as always, stay dry, my friend. And now for sports. Surprisingly, there was no news of any kind in any sport today. Well, that's unfortunate. However, there were a few mildly interesting developments in golf and bowling. If you're interested enough to care, please check us out online at www.reallysports.com. Well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. And if you're drinking, please remember, you are alone and nobody cares. Thank you. Good night.